Yo, so I just saw 50-50 today, the cancer comedy, drama, what have you. And I was impressed by it. I thought it was a very good, sweet little movie. It's basically it's a true story. It's based on the writer Will Reiser, the guy that wrote the screenplay. I don't know what he does outside of that. Maybe he's just a screenwriter, but it's based on his, it's semi autobiographical, based on like his experiences getting this very rare form of cancer in his spine. And um, Joseph Gordon-Levitt basically plays him. His name in the film, I don't think it's his same name. His name is Adam, and he has his best buddy Kyle, played by Seth Rogen. But anyways, it's this regular guy. He works in public radio with his buddy Kyle, and he's going out with this chick. I think her name was Rachel. It was Bryce Dallas Howard, I want to say. Um, and near the beginning of the movie, they just set it up. He's going to work, but he has a doctor's appointment. And he finds out he has this very rare cancer, and he goes and goes on WebMD and he looks it up, and there's a 50-50 chance, 50% survival rate. So that's where the title comes from, based on a true story, and it kind of wants to be like this, it's like a drama and a comedy and just a very warm movie, with likable characters, and it succeeds. I enjoyed it. I wasn't like there's a lot of critics that like were totally in love with it. I wasn't in love with it, but there's nothing really bad I could say about it. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is very good in it. Seth Rogen as his buddy, he's basically doing the same thing Seth Rogen always does, but Seth Rogen is kind of dialed down a bit. He's like down at a 6 when he's usually at an 8 to a 10. And there's something about it that fits. Like, it's a little bit less of the usual Seth Rogen. Like, this is just like this oafish guy. Um, but there's something about it that just works where it's his buddy and he's trying to be there for him, but he doesn't really want to talk about the disease that his friend has. So he's just like, dude, let's use your cancer. Let's go get laid. And that's like a lot of the movie is Seth Rogen trying to get him laid by using his cancer, but usually it's Seth Rogen who's getting laid off of it. He's like, "Oh, my buddy's got cancer," and oh. But anyways, so he finds out he has cancer, and then it just kind of deals with what that experience was like for I'm guessing Will Reiser, dealing with his mom who's overbearing and worries too much. Who in here is played by Angelica Houston. I didn't know it was her for some reason until I just looked right now, but she was very good in it. She's not in it a lot, but she has a strong presence in it. And then the way his girlfriend reacts, where they were already having problems to begin with, and they weren't the closest to begin with, so it's like, say you're dating this chick a couple months, you're not that close, she finds out you have cancer, like, how does she react? It's either going to go one way or the other, right? And I don't want to spoil it, but, um, what else is in it? And then his dad has Alzheimer's, so his mom is dealing with, both his dad's Alzheimer's and her son getting cancer. But I'm not here to, like, break down with the whole thing, like, every little thing that happens. But basically, it goes through Adam's experience with cancer, and with a cancer that could definitely kill him, and how he reacts to it, and how his family reacts to it. And it felt very, very genuine and not very forced. Nothing. I mean, it doesn't. To me, it didn't like. It didn't blow me away, but I liked it a lot, and it didn't. It doesn't ever go too hard to be funny or too hard to be, drag the tears out of you. It felt honest, which is appreciated. Um, I will say that there is a lot of like funny and vulgar humor. Like early on, before he even knows he has cancer, Seth Rogen, uh, what's his name, Kyle or whatever in it, whatever. Seth Rogen and Joseph Gordon-Levitt are like getting coffee on their way to work, and then he's talking about how Gordon-Levitt's talking about how he hasn't been laid in like 3 weeks with his girlfriend, and there's these blowjob jokes and stuff. And the vulgar humor is very funny in it, but it doesn't try to stand out as much as in a lot of other like, post Apatow films. It's there. It's funny. Like the writing is very sharp and funny, but it's not in your face. And it's the same thing with the poignant moments where it'll get you not by trying to do it too hard. It's just this is how someone might react to it, or this is what might happen. And I think, I mean, it's just solidly written and good performances. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, the guy, I gotta give it to him. He's a great actor, and I think if I was an actor, I would want whoever his agent is, because like, it seems like no matter what he does, it's just a good fucking film. You have this, you have 500 Days of Summer, The Lookout. I think it's like that Lookout. I think is great. Um, I forgot what else I've seen him. He was in Inception. I was like so on, but seems like Hesher. I thought he was awesome in Hesher, but it seems like he just always gets good roles. Like I said, Seth Rogen's kind of dialed down a bit. And then you have Anna Kendrick, who was in Up in the Air, and I loved her in Up in the Air. I think Up in the Air was the first movie I reviewed on here, strangely enough, and I love that movie. I think it's a great movie. But and I liked her in that movie, and I liked her even more here. I loved her here. I thought she was great. She's basically his therapist that has to help him deal with what he's going through. So it's not like it's just mental therapist, or like but the funny thing is, she's like a student and she's still learning. She's not a full blown like doctor, and she's like probably younger than him. And he's giving her shit about that when they first meet. And there's a really good chemistry that happens between Anna Kendrick and Joseph Gordon-Levitt. It starts as doctor patient, and there's like I think there's something in there where it's like, is this appropriate? And she keeps saying this is not appropriate. This is not appropriate. But I think there's a question about whether she responds professionally. I guess if you look at it objectively, and I'm not trying to spoil anything, but she's not always totally professional. She starts to really care about her patient. Put it that way. And there is a question there where it's like, this is not how a professional would act. So is she really actually good at her job? But it just, to me, that falls by the wayside of just enjoying the characters and who they are. Like I said, I don't think there's an amazing amount of substance to it. I think it's pretty sweet, but it's just, it does try to directly deal with subjects that aren't always dealt with in a serious way in films. It's definitely a film about mortality and about the way people treat you once they find out that you're sick, and how you would react if you think you're dying and stuff like that. And a lot of movies don't do it, and when they do it, it's very heavy-handed, but 50-50 is not heavy-handed with it at all. It has a very light touch to it, but it gets the moments that it needs to, and it gets them right. And Gordon-Levitt just tries not to respond to it most of the time, but then he has these moments where it hits him that he could actually be dying. And some of it, like, there's a part where he's like, everyone tells you everything's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay, dude. It's gonna be okay. And he's like, that makes it worse. And I totally get that, because if you're in that situation, you don't want someone to just be like, oh, it's gonna be okay, dude. Don't worry. They pat you on the back. You want someone to be like, fuck, this is fucked up, and like, and you get, I get that. To me, I get that, and that's part of the movie, but that's in there. It's just, when he said that, I was like, dude, I totally get that. You don't want someone to pretend it's okay. You want someone to sit there and go, man, this is fucked up. I'm sorry you're dying, man. This is crazy. But anyways, I mean, I've gone on about 10 minutes about this. I haven't really said much. Just dude working at a public radio, he gets cancer, and you get to see how him and his family and friends react to it. and they react in a very like heartwarming and sometimes funny and sometimes sad way, and nicely written, and it feels honest. And another cool thing I like too is when he's going through chemotherapy and stuff, is he meets these other cancer patients. They're kind of small roles in the film, but I like the way it plays out with them. There's Philip Baker Hall, who I love as an actor. I thought Hard Eight was amazing with him. And then there's Matt Frewer, I think his name is. He used to be on some Nickelodeon show. He's like the tall, bald guy. And like they sit around eating macaroons that are, laced with marijuana and stuff. That's another cool thing too. Is like he gets all into like smoking weed and shit with his buddy Seth Rogen. And it's weird. I really like the way the relationship plays out between Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Seth Rogen. It's just not forced at all, but you feel like these are good buddies, and they don't ever have to like overdo how much Seth Rogen cares about him. Like I think Seth Rogen gives a really good performance. Like they don't ever do it. He's just always there, like, dude, let's go get laid, or dude, let's smoke some pot and watch TV. But the point of it isn't like that he's like, dude, you're gonna die, man, or this and that. It's just he's always there. He's there for him, so you know how much he cares about him, even though if he always seems selfish. And there's a really nice little twist with it. And but even more so, I really liked minor spoiler, like the chemistry between Gordon Levitt and Anna Kendrick as his therapist. The way they play off each other, I really liked it. I thought Anna Kendrick, I loved her up in there. I love her hair even more. She's just really good in it. I don't know. There's just a lot to like about it. I wasn't like head over heels with it, and it's a weird subject matter for a movie as a do with cancer. It's a hard one to do right, right? Because you could easily just go over the top melodramatic and make it super sad, or if you put in too many jokes, it just like feels awkward. Like what the fuck? Cancer's not funny, and they just walk the line right. And I think it's because it's Will Reiser is writing from the heart about something that happened to him, so he's gonna get the details right, and he's gonna get what it was like right. And it's not a comfortable thing to sit there and watch and talk about, but you'll actually leave the theater feeling pretty upbeat about everything. Um, I don't know what to say. I mean, there's a few things that I've probably skimmed over, like the relationship between Joseph Gordon-Levitt and his girlfriend, but I'll leave that for the movie. Like, go see the movie. I think it's definitely worth seeing, and I think it was. I think for me, it was a 4 out of 5. One of the better movies of the year, but it's not like where like when I saw it, I saw the devil or Drive, where I'm like, wow, this blew me away. But it's a nice, sweet movie about things that um, the movies don't always talk about, and it's just nicely done. It doesn't overdo anything. It's well acted. Like I said, I thought everyone, like Seth Rogen, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and Anna Kendrick. I loved all their performances. They gave great performances, and that's coming from. I'm kind of getting sick of Seth Rogen. I thought, but he nailed it here. I thought he was really good. So 4 out of 5 stars for 50/50. I think you should check it out. If it's something that like you kind of want to see, definitely check it out. But see it at some point. All right. Anyways, I don't know. I'm rambling like an idiot.